Welcome back to Mobility Insider. I'm Morten Hannesbo. My first video about the Taycan 4S generated quite a lot of interest and also a lot of questions from you guys. I decided to pick 10 of those questions and I'll give you my answers and my insights. And I hope you can use those answers to make an informed decision about whether buying a used Taycan is something for you. The first question is about the DC charging of the Taycan. So I decided to do a fresh test this morning to get the effect of the updates the car has had. The result was that the Taycan charges 10 to 80% in 18 minutes and 3 seconds. That is, of course, really fast compared to anyone out there today. It does require you to prepare the car for charging. You do that by entering the destination of the charger in the navigation system, and then the car knows that there will be a charging session coming up. In terms of how you get the best recipe for road tripping with the Taycan, basically you drive the car down to 5 or 10% state of charge, then you charge up to 60% state of charge, and then you move on. Because then in just 10 minutes approximately, you'll get another 200 kilometers of range, and you can do that a couple of times, and then you finish your trip. The second question is about the efficiency and the consumption of the Taycan. Over the last, let me just have a look, 1,351 kilometers, the average consumption I have had is 22.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I think that's pretty good because the car, of course, is heavy, it's powerful, it has quite wide tires, and it does give you that everyday range of 375 kilometers. And even if you only take the 80% range, you still have about 300 kilometers. And I think that's pretty good for this type of car, and certainly for the way I use the car, it is perfect. Question number 3 is about used car prices and how the pre-facelift Taycans will develop over the next months and years. Now, the Taycan is just a normal car. It's not a 911 iconic car that will keep its value for a long time. The Taycan will keep dropping in value over the next months and years. I think it's approximately about 10% per year you should expect when you buy a used Taycan. So in this case, 70,000 Swiss francs. I expect the car to lose 7,000 Swiss francs per year over the next 5 years based on 15,000 kilometers on average per year. I know that Porsche and the dealers are hoping for a recovery in the used car situation of the Taycan, but I just don't think there's any basis for that. There's a couple of things that I would like to add to this, why I see it this way. First of all, there's a lot of used Taycans for sale. In the UK, you'll find about 800 pre-facelifted Taycans for sale. In Germany, 1,800. In Switzerland, about 300. And that is a lot of cars. And there'll be more coming over the next months because many lease cars that were sold in 2020 and 21 are now coming onto the market, and that will put further pressure on the prices. If the Porsche dealers and the manufacturer really want to do something about the prices of Taycan and work against this negative trend, what they would have to do was first of all to have really good financing offers with zero or low interest financing plus a warranty extension of another 2 years from 4 to 6 years. And secondly, they should give a longer warranty on the battery up to probably 12 years and 300,000 kilometers. That would really help the used car situation of the Taycan. Question number 4 is about the new 2024 facelifted Taycan and how we could expect the used car prices of that one to develop. Now, I think, unfortunately, that the new Taycan will not be any better than the current Taycan. And the reason for that is that the prices are very high from begin with. I looked at the prices between the different markets, and the facelift prices adjusted for more equipment and a bigger battery are pretty much carryover from the old Taycan. But you have to remember that in the meantime, the Tesla and other cars have come down in price. And however you look at it, the Tesla Model S and the Taycan do compete in the same segment. But the Tesla only cost about half or even less compared to the Taycan. So there's a limit as to how far Porsche can go up in price. But with the price level they have chosen for the new Taycan, I think they made a mistake. They probably should have reduced the prices to come back into line with the market. So because of that, I expect the facelifted 2024 Taycan to have a huge hit in residual value, which would be approximately 50% in the first 3 years. Question number 5 is about maintenance cost expected for running a Taycan over the next years. It's got a gearbox, it's got air suspension, a lot of electronics, it's got wide tires that wear quite a lot. So all in all, you should expect to pay quite a high bill to keep the car running. Let's talk about those in detail. If you replace the tires, I expect that to happen every 20,000 kilometers. That will cost you about 1,500 Swiss francs. The service cost for the car between 2,000 to 3,000 Swiss francs per year. The warranty extension after the 4-year warranty included with the car will cost you another 1,600 Swiss francs approximately per year. And insurance for the car, in my case, is about 2,100 Swiss francs per year. Now add on top of that the depreciation on the car, in my case about 7,000 Swiss francs, and you're looking in total about 12 to up to 15,000 Swiss francs per year to run a car like a Taycan, a used one like the one I have. Is that a lot of money? Yes, it is, but it is still less than a comparable Porsche Panamera or another car in the luxury segment. So it's a lot of money, but it is not outrageous in my opinion. The car comes with a factory warranty. But depending on the country you live in, it can be 2, 3 or even 4 years. So make sure you read the details and have the dealer explain to you exactly what that warranty covers. There's something that is particularly important in terms of the Taycan. The battery of the vehicle comes with its own warranty. Porsche gives you 8 years up to 160,000 kilometers. And what they say is that after 8 years, the battery should still have at least 70% of the original capacity left working. If it's below 70, they will repair the battery. And it's important to note, it's not going to be replaced. They will repair the battery so that the capacity is again more than 70%. So it's important that you always read the small print in a contract or the warranty document. Now, I really think Porsche is on the wrong path here. They should have more confidence in the product and they should give you a longer warranty on the battery, because that would substantially help the car have a much better residual value. The level I think you should have is 12 years warranty up to 300,000 kilometers, and I think Porsche should be able to do that. Question number 6 is which model to choose. Porsche has a lot of choice, and it really depends on your needs and what kind of person you are. If you want the fastest, most well-equipped car, I guess the Turbo or the Turbo S would be the one to choose. On the other hand, if budget is on your list of concerns, probably the rear-wheel drive version with a smaller battery would be the best choice for you. In my case, I chose the 4S because I think it strikes the best balance between performance, power and financial equation. And also the 4S gives you 4-wheel drive. It gives you, in this case, the larger Performance Plus battery, giving you a good range. You can have rear-wheel steering, which is standard on this car as well. And all in all, this is a good balance, and the car is still insanely fast. I did an acceleration test a few days ago. 0 to 100 is just 3.55 seconds. So for me, with the need I have, the 4S or the DNTS is my recommendation. Question number 7 is about importing cars and whether it would be advantageous to import a car, say, from Germany. Now, in my personal opinion, I think you should always buy the car where you live and where you plan to use the car. But of course, there can be situations where importing a car would be advantageous. Say, if you want to get a special model, special color, Germany, there'll be a much bigger choice than in some of the smaller markets. But do think about, if you have a car, you import it, If there's something wrong with the car, you have the hassle of having to go back to your dealer or back to the seller in that other country. And there may be some different legal frameworks that would make it difficult to have a car repaired or have the cost shared. So I don't recommend importing cars. I would recommend always to buy the car from a local dealer or from a person you know in the country you live and where you expect to use the car. Question number 8 is, how does the Audi E-tron GT compare to the Taycan? Now, those two cars are very similar. They share the same battery, the electric motors are similar, but apart from that, they're also quite different. The Taycan is very much of a sports car, and you feel it when you drive it. It's like an electric 911. The Audi is more of a Gran Turismo, more like an RS7, for instance, from Audi. That's the way the car feels. Buying an Audi will be less expensive than buying and running a Taycan. So it's a matter of, choice. Do you want one or the other? Me personally, I prefer the Taycan for the way it drives and also for the way it looks, but you may have a different opinion. Question number 9 was, did I get a battery health readout before I bought the car? And the answer is no, I didn't. I did ask the dealer for a health report, and he said he couldn't do it. I don't actually believe that. But the dealers are very cautious about anything they say about the battery of the Taycan. Of course, there were some issues, and they don't want to do it, to be very honest. Now, I'm not too concerned about the battery because the car is still under warranty. It's only 3 years old, so 5 more years left on the battery warranty. So I'm not too concerned about it. And what you can also do is, when you make a full charge of the car, you can see the range in the center cluster. And if the range is about 375 to 400 kilometers, the battery would have a really good health. So you shouldn't be too concerned about it. But the final advice here is never buy a Taycan out of warranty. So buying a car from a private seller can be absolutely okay, but it does require you to be a little bit more cautious and do some more legwork because there are some pitfalls. So in short, make sure that the car is serviced, that the warranty can be extended or is still included. Have the dealer check the VIN number. He can tell you exactly what equipment the car has and also what services have been made or recalls have been made. And then be a little bit careful when you transfer the money. Make sure you get the title of the car before you do so. And if you are just doing these things right, it shouldn't be a big issue to buy from a private seller, and you may just get your dream Taycan a little bit less expensive. So these were your 10 most important questions. I hope you can use my insights and my answers to make an informed decision about whether to buy a used or a new Taycan. Thank you for watching Mobility Insider, and see you in the next video.